try and understand how that relationship works out.
If I have to bring that concept to today, so we have two plays. One is the government, the state, and the individual. So the individual gives the power to the government to legislate, execute, and whereas the government, so what's the relationship between the power, which sits in between, of giving in and so both giving and controlling power. So the individual gives the power to the government and people in power to run on their behalf, and then in lieu, the people in power control power or control rights and freedoms of the individuals.
I think those rights, I tend to hold more of an American view of those, that we have these pre-existing rights. You know, it's a bit like Blackstone, natural law theory, and all of the rest of it, which sort of ties in with the American way. These rights are self-evident, that they are transcendent, come from God, if you will. So the rights themselves of the individual transcend government. You know, someone was saying, I think in the US, they're saying that government gives you rights. It's like, no, I don't think the government actually does give you rights. I think they pre-exist government. The relationship between the government and the citizen is it's a, you know, the social contract is essentially is that we as citizens need to be governed. We agree that we're going to elect these people to I guess try and understand how that relationship works out. I balk a bit at the term. Americans use it a lot. We're using it more now. Lawmakers, and I guess in a way, in Parliament we are making law. But I think there's a danger there if you think that government can make any law that it wants out of whole cloth, essentially. I think that's a misunderstanding of who we are as people and where our fundamental rights come from, essentially. The relationship we have within the state and the way that the Westminster system is set up, for example, talking about the sort of the hybrid system, but essentially the Westminster system is it recognises that every man, every person that you put in that position of control is a flawed human being. I think that's from where I come from and the history I come from, that's kind of a Christian concept of you know, all have fallen short of the glory of God. You know, we're all fallen and left to our own devices that would become tyrannical if given enough power. So I think the system that we have recognises that and says we cannot put one person in power and we cannot put one part of government in power. So in order to ensure that rights are properly balanced, then we have these, you know, you have the legislature, the judiciary and the executive, and those are kept separate. And we try to keep the power as distributed as widely as possible to avoid one person from having total control of that power. And it was what Lord Acton says, that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's the system in place that protects us from our own worst devices.
Well,
yeah.